I think it's really important to celebrate 125 years of Cardiff City.
It carries a legacy and it carries a storytelling journey as well.
That history is so important, not just to the football club, but also to our city and also our country.
125 years is so important because I wanted to make my mark. I wanted to leave people with memories.
It's a big deal. It's 125 years. It's Cardiff City. We're bluebirds. You know, I'm a bluebird and I always will be.
It binds people together, families and friends. It's through the generations.
All the legends of the club, their story still goes on to this day.
And you think about all the iconic things that have happened for the club, winning the FA Cup in 1927.
Winning the FA Cup is absolute folklore here.
The history of the club is fantastic and proves really how embedded we are in the community, because we started off not as a football team, we started off as a cricket club.
Riverside Cricket Club were a club playing cricket through the summer, and they wanted something to do during the football season.
And 𝗘𝗿𝗀𝗆, the manager, and this is I think 1899, he said, how do I keep this bunch of players together over the winter? Rather than thinking about the football, he was thinking about the cricket.
𝗘𝗿𝗀𝗆, he was involved in the cricket club, and he was the man who got together the first committee. And they decided, right, let's give it a go, and that's where it all started. And they started playing football down at Sapphire Gardens, and within a few years anyway, they became Cardiff City Football Club.
And if you think of what that man did for Cardiff City, starting off having to get election to the football leagues as was then.
𝗘𝗿𝗀𝗆, what a legend, what a hero. Because without him and without all that work as Riverside FC, we wouldn't have a football team.
Their first opponents at Ninian Park were Aston Villa to open the stadium.
Ninian Park was an old council like 𝗘𝗿𝗀𝗆𝗃, and then it got converted into a football ground.
Glass would come through the surface while the players were out there, and there were a number of injuries to players who got cut by grass appearing from the rubbish tip underneath. The 20s were a good time for Cardiff City. They finished second in Division 1 one stage. They won the Welsh Cup and Charity Shield.
Getting to the FA Cup final in 1925, losing there, but then 1927, perhaps our best memory ever, winning that FA Cup final against Arsenal 1-0.
I believe there are 100,000 people in the ground. It was on the radio for one of the first times anyway.
The majority of that team, you know, were Cardiff boys as well. It was such a fantastic achievement for a little club like we were then. I don't want to wish my life away, but I would have loved to have been in that Cardiff City team to win the FA Cup alongside them.
And these were guys like Fred Keener, the captain in 1927, who'd been through the Somme, who was playing with a bit of shrapnel inside him. These were war heroes who'd actually been to war, came back, thought their footballing careers were over, and they went on to really great things.
The only Welsh club to take the English FA Cup out of England and back to Wales, Fred Keenor, Hughie Ferguson, all these names, we grew up with them, right? Without these heroes, we don't have a football club.
And I think when you see the statue of Keener outside, it's really iconic.
These are the forefathers of our football club. And every football club will have its foundations and its history. And in the new era, in the new tradition of football where there's so much money ploughed into it now, I think some clubs have perhaps forgotten about their history. And I think it's really important.
And it's just brilliant to read those histories and think about these people, what they've done and what we owe to them in one sense, but also what a rich and diverse history that we've got at Cardiff.